Hey Himanshu,
Hi Chirag, how are you?
welcome to WebEngage.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
really well. Thank you so much for taking out your time and agreeing to do
Sure,
this.
absolutely.
My name is Chirag. I lead the content marketing and special projects team here at WebEngage. For all the viewers who are viewing this for the first time, if you could just introduce yourself, talk to us a little bit about your background and what you do currently, that would set the tone for the rest of the session.
My name is Himanshu and I work at Clensta. I am a co-team founding member and I've been in this industry for last 7 years. And I'm an ex-co-founder as well.
Wow.
I've run my own companies and raised funds. And now we are building Clensta and we're launching personal care and wellness products at Clensta.
Wow. So, from being a co-founder to running Clensta, being a founding member, and getting into retention marketing, right? I'm sure this wasn't a conscious career choice for you.
Actually, because I started my career as a co-founder itself, so I've learned all aspect of running a business, right? So and down the line, I've realized that retention is the should be a main focus, but generally it is not because we all have to manage the top lines.
Oh, nice.
So that's where we figured out that retention is very important to sustain the business, and that's how I got into this all the retention marketing thing.
Wow. So, I'm sure there were a lot of learnings for you when you were a co-founder. While you're doing retention for your current company, you must have faced a lot of learnings, right? If you could go back in time and teach your younger self one thing that you learned very late in your career, what would that be?
Uh, Customers won't invest too much time on whatever you are trying to say to them, right? So you have to be real quick how you are telling your story to them. And for example, if you see an Instagram ad, right, you only have 2 seconds. वो swipe हो जाएगा,
Yeah.
correct? वो 2 सेकंड में how you are telling them what's the hook, right? The hook is very important. Then if that customer, if you are able to grab that customer once, right, and then coming back to that particular customer and asking them to come back and shop more, that is the key where you are successful, right? Once you have done that, you're good to go. You don't have it. You will not have any problem generating the revenue that the company wants, the brand wants, and you will be able to achieve your targets well.
So that's primarily the difference between any company and any good company.
Correct.
Right? If you can make your customers come back and purchase from you again, nothing like it. I mean, what
True.
more do you want?
So the first thing is obviously you can do the top line one. Like the first customer is very easy to acquire. दूसरी बार उसको बेचने के लिए और प्रोडक्ट हैज टू बी वेरी गुड, राइट? अगर प्रोडक्ट बढ़िया है, कस्टमर आ नहीं रहा है, देन यू आर लैकिंग इन योर मार्केटिंग एफर्ट्स. वो मैनेज करने के लिए यू नीड टू डू ईमेल, एसएमएस, पुश, राइट? उसमें यू नीड टू क्रिएट अ सर्टेन हुक अगेन कि भाई तूने यूज करा, अच्छा था कि नहीं था? अच्छा था ना तो वापस लेना उसको प्रोडक्ट को.
Precisely.
Correct. So that is the hook that you should create. So that is the main difference between a company and a good company. कि आप return customer को भी you need to provide that hook. It's not about कि good quality product है. He will eventually forget it because there are so many companies who are trying to push good products in the market, right? But you still need to have that hook.
Nice. So you mentioned you've raised some funds as well, right? And you had a decent exposure to the investor ecosystem.
Correct.
How important is the retention number for these folks when they're actually looking to invest in a company?
So the seed round is pretty easy. Okay. You have a good product, you have a good idea, you have a good business plan. People will invest. This Series A, Series B, when you start going to that level, right? The main metric that they want is the retention.
Wow. Okay.
That is the main metric. That is the first question that any investor would ask you if you are raising a Series A or Series B. If you have already raised Series seed round, right? So Series B or A में और B में their first important metric is retention, the repeat. कि repeat कितना आता है? आपने पैसा रेज करा फर्स्ट टाइम, आपने बिजनेस रन करा, रेवेन्यू जनरेट हुआ, रिटर्न कितना है? On that basis, they decide कि whether they want to fund your company or not.
So market में जो लोगों ने गंद मचाई हुई है in terms of acquisition led growth.
Correct.
Do you think the investor ecosystem has now sort of become very rational in the thought process? Because I will not fall for this. I need a sustainable business.
नहीं, absolutely. मतलब every investor is like this. एक टाइम था जब आइडिया पे पैसे मिल जाते थे.
Yeah.
अब नहीं मिलते.
अब नहीं मिलते. Nice. So
अब आपके रिटेंशन में मिलते हैं.
अच्छा.
बीच में एक टाइम आया था जहां आपका एक सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ रेवेन्यू था, उस पे मिल जाते थे. अब नहीं मिलते हैं. अब उस पे भी नहीं मिलते. कि ठीक है, इतना तो कोई भी कर लेगा.
Nice.
रिपीट ला पा रहे हो नहीं ला पा रहे, दैट इज द गेम.
So essentially, it defines your product market fit.
Correct.
Your stand in the market. Are people even receptive to your idea? Every startup, I'm sure, is solving some problem in some
Correct.
fashion, but actual need है क्या market को उसकी? That's where your retention numbers speak that you found the right business.
मतलब वही that is the thing. अगर कस्टमर बार बार आ रहा है, right? आप और रिटेन भी कर पा रहे हो, तो then you are actually solving a problem which is actually needed a solution. वो problem को actually solution चाहिए था, आपने दिया, बाकी ब्रांड से बेहतर दिया, तो आपका रिटेंशन अगर if it's going up and up month on month उसका एक certain growth rate है, तो eventually that is a good business to invest in. तो investors का हमेशा अभी by मतलब we recently raised our pre-series B, right?
Okay.
That was basically meant on the metrics की retention की.
Wow, congratulations by the way.
Thank you.
So, right, the way you work today, since
Right.
you're building a company from ground up, I'm sure there are a lot of challenges that you face in terms of
Absolutely.
people, in terms of processes, in terms of even personal drawbacks and personal hurdles. Right? If there is one thing that you want to change today that would sort the next 10 years of your career, your company, your professional life, what would that be?
Like personally, RTO would be the thing that will even solve my personal problems.
Okay.
Being a FMGC brand, right? वो product हम लोग जो पहला pitch करते हैं customer को, right? Performance marketing, that generates the top line. Order आते हैं, but RTO is one thing that I would really want to solve it and drive it through a process जो वो मतलब खत्म हो जाए. मेरे को RTO नहीं चाहिए.
अच्छा, for our viewers, if you could just explain RTO.
So generally RTO stand for return to origin. So origin is where my warehouse is. So it will come back to me, and it is the most saddest thing and a very wrong metric to show to investors.
True.
So
are you doing anything to solve for that problem currently?
What we are doing right now is using help of WebEngage itself and WhatsApp, right? What we are doing is any cash on delivery orders that we get, right? We send an OTP request to confirm that order.
Okay.
Generally in tier 2, tier 3 cities, लोगों का इंटरनेट के साथ एक्सपोजर जरूर हो गया है, but there is still lack of trust and confidence.
Yeah.
तो वो lack of trust both and it is both ways. कंपनी साइड से भी और कंज्यूमर साइड से भी. कंज्यूमर को क्या नया ब्रांड है, ऐसे तो हजारों आते हैं.
Exactly.
कस्टमर को ये है कि अरे बिकॉज टियर 2 टियर 3 सिटीज में डिलीवरी वहाँ होगी भी नहीं होगी, डिलीवरी कुरियर गाय वापस आ जाएगा घूम के, तो वो भी एक कंसर्न रहता है. तो उसके लिए व्हाट वी आर यूजिंग व्हाट्सएप थ्रू वेबएंगेज.
Okay.
तो उसमें व्हाट वी डू इज वी जनरेट ऑटोमेटिक ओटीपी कि वो आरटीओ एटलीस्ट कंफर्म्ड हो, वो ऑर्डर कैश ऑन डिलीवरी का हो. तो उससे वी डिटरमाइन कि हमारा आरटीओ लेवल थोड़ा कम हो जाए.
Okay.
So we make sure that the customer who's ordering, he's actually interested in the product.
Got it.
That's why he's gonna take that extra step and enter the OTP.
So one of the main reasons why your RTO would be high is accidental orders, and which
Correct.
you're trying to solve for with the
With
OTP
the
process.
OTP process.
Super. So with that said, I come to the next leg of this segment, which is called Never Have I Ever.
Okay.
Okay. This is for you. I will ask you a bunch of questions.
Got it.
You can choose to answer them
Hmm.
with either you have or you haven't.
Hmm.
If you have, please do let me know some justification around it. If you haven't, also do let me know why you've never chosen to do something like that.
Hmm.
And you also have the option to skip an answer if you find it to be a little tricky. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Never have I ever created a failed campaign and then blamed it on others.
I have maybe. I,
Okay.
I don't remember the exact campaign, but yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
there are possibilities.
Okay.
There's so many campaigns.
So I'll go on this one with you. I have also done that. So at times, you take a bet on something and then you realize,
Correct.
oh shit, it did not work.
It is not working.
And then you find an escape route because you know it's going to backfire big time.
Correct.
So then you blame the content team, the tech team, and something happened.
The copy was not right. The creative was not good.
Yeah. So your copy did not resonate with the customer's emotion, and we do all sorts of random stuff there. Coming to the next one. Never have I ever sent a campaign with failed personalization tags.
I have
Did it ever backfire to you?
not that much, but I believe personalization was important. But eventually, sometimes you have a lot of pressure on you, right? So you end up making some mistakes, and I have made those mistakes as well.
So at some point in time, every marketer around the globe has done this, and we take no shame in
No shame
accepting
in
to
it.
this. It's a learning process for
correct.
all of us. Cool. Never have I ever tweaked my reports to save my ass.
No, I have never done that.
Never done that.
Never done that.
So
I have blamed someone else for that bad report.
okay.
I've not
Okay.
never changed that report.
Got it. So essentially, data never lies. Right?
Data never.
Data never lies. Never have I ever sprayed a campaign to achieve my month-end numbers.
I have.
Done that?
I have done that.
Again, any anecdotes that you recollect?
So there was we got a certain target, right? So eventually, if you're working for a startup, you're working for some investors, right? You have certain targets that you want to achieve. At some point of time, the ROI really doesn't matter because we want to achieve that number.
Yeah.
So I have done that. I've gone crazy on the campaigns to just be on the target.
Just for my understanding, how bad is investor pressure?
I'm not sure if I should say it.
Okay, fine. I get your hint. We'll skip this part. Okay, so coming to the next question. And the last one, of course. Never have I ever picked a bone with somebody else in my team or my manager because they asked me to run a stupid campaign or a campaign that did not make sense at all.
I have not been at that level, so I've never done it.
You've never done that.
Never done that.
Has anybody from your team done? Has anybody from your team done that to you?
I'm very. During my experience, I've been very overpowered on people. So nothing.
Super.
It always goes through me.
Super. So with that said, we come to the end of this conversation. Once again, thank you so much for taking out your time and everything.
Thank you so much for doing this.